Hello!
I'm JQ.
I'm TQ.
We're the Q Brothers, and this is Small Flower TV. We're back!
Jinx. We're back with Overdue. It's the summer is pretty much here, y'all, and it is time we review some sunscreens, because we got, at least in Chicago here, we got a hit with a very early heat wave, a May heat wave that was like heart of July. And we've been having a lot of people ask questions about sunscreens, and we want to dive in. Like, one of the biggest things people come to us for is, what are the safest sunscreens? And so, Jay, why don't you talk about...
Well, they also, like, what happens is they're like, well, I was at the drugstore and they have 100 SPF.
Yeah.
And I'm always kind of laugh at that, because most people, it's just a number to them. They don't actually understand what it means. So maybe we can break one down.
Yeah.
So, like, SPF actually means sun protection factor.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Drop some science on us, Jay.
Alright, so I'm going to drop a little math, actually, mostly.
Okay.
So, how long would it take you to burn in the sun with no sunscreen on?
Well, for me...
Like, you know...
With no sunscreen, probably you'd start to burn, what, 10 minutes of direct sunlight? Me? 15, 20 minutes?
15 minutes, alright, let's say 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so 15 minutes.
I got that South Asian blood, you know.
So now, if you put on the sunscreen...
Yeah.
This is going to take you, if it's a 30 SPF, it will take you 30 times that to burn. So what's 30 times 15?
30 times 15 is 450.
So 450 minutes.
Am I right?
How often are you out in the sun for 6.5 hours straight, besides on vacation on a beach?
Which I don't usually take.
Yeah.
It's pretty rare.
Pretty rare.
Yeah.
So like anything above 30 is kind of ridiculous, you know?
Yeah.
So actually the biggest thing is, the problem is most people put on like 100, but they put a little bit on.
Yeah.
Using a little bit of half as much as you should of 100 doesn't give you half the protection. You don't get 50. You get the square root. That's what the math is. So you only get a 10 SPF if you put half as much of 100.
Wow.
So, just so you know.
And I would say two problems, I think. One is not putting enough on. One is not reapplying.
Right, yeah.
So, it's like, our advice is, forget the waterproof factor. Like, that's an extra thing to when you have kids, especially. You just want to have that sense of like, it will stay on longer, but ultimately,
you gotta put it on
you gotta put it on again at some point. Like, so you take a quick dip, you might not, and you get up to your waist, okay, you don't need to run off and like cover your legs immediately, but the point is, if you're out there sweating, or you're out there diving into the water repeatedly, like, you'd be a fool not to put on sunscreen again. And that is the #1 rule of sunscreen. Apply enough and apply often. If you do that, a 15 will probably cover you for what you need. But the point is, so your point is like, the difference for some person of a 30 versus a 45 versus 100 is absurd, because you're not going to the sun and you're not going to like lay out for 4 days straight with no physical activity to get the stuff off you. Right. So let's keep that in mind. So when you go out and you're like, I need at least a 60, keep in mind what that actually means. And when you say, if you're one of those people who thinks that.
And then let's also talk about the fact that, well, we only recommend mineral sunscreens.
Yeah. You know? Why is that?
Because chemical sunscreens are absorbed by the skin, basically, and, you know, could potentially lead to some harmful things, you know. So just to be on the safest side possible, we stick with mineral sunscreens, which are a physical block. It's literally you putting this on your skin, and this is blocking the sun.
Yeah, like it's stopping the sun from hitting your skin. And that's an important distinction. We're not going to spend a lot of time getting into the possible negative effects of the chemical ingredients, but if you want, go look them up. It'll actually scare you.
Yeah, so basically what you're looking for when you look for mineral sunscreen, if you look at the back of one that you have, if it says like oxybenzo, anything like that, those are the chemical ones. You're looking for zinc or titanium, basically.
And they'll always be under active ingredients. So titanium dioxide or zinc oxide, those are the two ingredients that are generally the natural mineral sunscreens, and those will be under active ingredients. If you have any other active ingredients, you probably have a chemical sunscreen. So keep that in mind. So let's dive in, Jay.
All right. So
we're gonna, in no particular order, we're gonna work our way through some of our most popular lines. Kula.
Right? Let's try the citrus mimosa.
Citrus. This is a mineral sport. This is the sport being it's water resistant. So again, not that just means less likely to wash off in the water than the regular ones. but let's put a little bit
Go
on.
small, because we have a lot of
I know.
Right?
I'm going to put a little tiny spot. So.
First of all, this smells awesome.
Oh, yeah.
But I like that it's, this one goes in and doesn't leave you looking blue like a lot of...
Yeah, so the downside of mineral sunscreens for many people is, if you're used to the chemical ones, this is going to feel thicker. All mineral sunscreens are going to feel thicker compared to the chemical ones. And oftentimes, although not with this one, you're going to get like sort of that whitish bluing effect on your skin because you have this white mineral block that it takes some time to rub in.
So it looks like you put it on your nose.
Yeah, if you see people walking around, they look a little bit whitish, or when you go skiing or something like that, you sometimes see people with it on your nose. It shouldn't be. We don't have any that are opaque and will make your face actually white here, but sometimes you'll notice. We'll see when we go through it.
This, however, really goes in.
The Coola goes in so fast. And now compare this, Jay. That was the body one. I'm gonna go with one that I already know is the favorite. My favorite sunscreen for face. If you're gonna go outside, you're gonna be around. This is the matte finish cucumber
like powder, right?
Yeah, cucumber sunscreen from Coola.
I'm rubbing this in, and it turns to like baby powder.
It turns to baby powder. There is no greasiness and no. It feels like I have talcum powder, and now I'm the smoothest guy on the planet.
Wow.
I love
this one. This one's awesome.
This one is
for face. This is a no-brainer.
That it's worth the. This is a little bit higher end line, but in my mind, both for the body and face, but easily for face.
Yeah.
So worth the money. I carry this around with me everywhere I go. I don't put anything else on my face other than this one because it's so dark.
They have a tinted one for ladies too. So
that's huge.
Cool.
So for women who want as a base for makeup, this is a great one. The tinted. So anyway, Coola, I love it.
All right, this is Keys. Now this was invented by
it's a
husband and wife. Team, right?
And
in the Florida Keys.
Yeah, and she had skin cancer and was having he's a chemist, a product chemist, and he basically tried to make a whole line of products
she could use, right?
That she could use during cancer treatment that wasn't sensitive, didn't cause burning, that actually soothed and healed. And so one of the things, obviously, for skin cancer, it's huge, is a sunscreen. I will say everything on this table gets really good ratings. We've only picked ones, and we try to only sell mineral sunscreens that get the best ratings from the EWG, the Environmental Working Group, which has become sort of the de facto standard or gold, the gold standard for
particularly
sunscreens. They do a report every year of what are the safest sunscreens.
That's nice. This one goes right in.
This one goes right in too. I accidentally went over the other one, and it's still not greasy. The only potential complaint about this is some people, this is a nano zinc, which means you get no whitening. It's really easy to put on, but there are some people who are worried because with any nanoparticle, we don't necessarily know the long-term absorption of nanoparticles will affect the body. So it's something to keep in mind.
So you'll see a lot of them will say non-nano. So like, if you really want to be the super safest thing, I would personally recommend going non-nano. If you want something that's going to feel good and go in just like a lotion, this is a great option.
And the whole line is great. I love Keys products.
This stuff is awesome.
And also, I would say that you're talking about what is known to be a relatively inert ingredient anyway. This mineral, I'm saying it's not an ingredient. There are other ingredients that if they were nano, you'd probably be much more worried.
ThinkSport. They have two here. They have a baby one.
Yeah.
And a
Think Baby. A lot of people like having a baby specific one. This is a 50 plus. Again, you heard our talk about that, but it's
part of that is people have to play the game to compete too now.
Yeah, of course. And there's nothing wrong with having a high number. Just at least understand that you are covered with a 30 if you do it right, by far. Then they have their 30 plus under the Live Strong brand of cancer support. Under Lance Armstrong's thing. So both of these are really nice. Let's just do a little bit of the non-baby one just to give a sense of how it would compare, right? You can see as I'm rubbing this in, definitely whiter and takes longer to rub in. There's a whitish residue,
whitish blue,
but it's not horribly greasy. And as I rub in, I'm now pretty clear. Maybe slight ghosting there.
It's a little thicker.
But you could see this whole line was designed with sports and serious outdoors in mind, and I think that's what it would be more appropriate for. Whereas Kula and Keys would probably be like, they could be using those, but they're also great everyday. Hey, you're going to the beach, you're going to the backyard barbecue, you probably don't want Think Sports a little whitish, you want Kula and just be like inconspicuous with your sunscreen use.
Let's get to this one, Badger.
Badger, we've got the whole family here, and we're not going to do all of them.
We won't do them all. They have a lavender, they have one with unscented, they have an anti-bug one.
Yeah, where they mix in
let's just try the unscented 30 just to compare it to the other ones. Let me just put it here. Now Badger's also, remember that you'd be supporting still a family-run company who's only ever made all 100% natural organic products, which I would just like to say, I love the company.
And every one we've talked about so far is also a family-run company or independently owned. Like, I love these brands. They're all good brands. Badger, I would say very comparable to the, even though it's unscented, that means no fragrance added.
It does have a scent.
It has a scent of the natural ingredients in there, which I was thinking is shea butter and yeah, and it's actually and really the beeswax. Yeah, it's really pleasant. And this is sort of like I would describe it as
beeswax. That's what it is.
It's beeswax.
It's great. Oh, it smells great.
Smells great, and it feels like you feel like this one is not greasy. It's not like thick in terms of just the mineral. It actually feels like you're putting really beneficial moisturizer all over your skin.
That is nice.
This is, I would say, appropriate. It's like, I want to describe it, I don't want to mean this in a denigrating way, it's like upscale hippie. It's like, this is appropriate for people who are natural minded, who want to moisturize their skin, and it's sort of like, yeah, I love it. Good job, Badger Bill.
Yeah,
and family.
And this one is probably our best-selling one in the store for babies, too, just so you know.
Yeah. So. People love Badger, and for good reason. I think hard to go wrong. So next one we're going to talk about is Alba, and I want to say Alba and Kula, both of them have non-mineral versions available.
And mineral ones, right?
So don't grab it and assuming you're having a mineral one. Make sure you look at the back and wow, I'm having a little allergies. So
why don't you try it a little bit?
Yeah. I'm feeling like Alba is definitely on the whiter side. I would compare it more to Think Sport and maybe even slightly greasier or slightly stickier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we were talking about this earlier that it used to be that the sunscreens, when you went to mineral, it meant a huge trade-off with feel. And I'm not saying that they're the same now as the chemical ones, because obviously you're putting some substance that is blocking the sun on your body, but they're getting very good. And so I feel like we have the luxury now of having finer distinctions and picking ones that are slightly better than the other ones, and so it's not a bad one. I certainly would be happy to use it.
You know what, this one, if you can't find a lot of these, this one is very widely available, so this is good for people to know about anyway.
But would not be on my list of top ones.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree.
Last one we're going to do is Graham's Natural, also a family-run company, out of another country, Australia, and we met the Grahams. They're really nice people, and we decided to take some of their eczema products, but they also had this great looking sunscreen, and so we thought, why not?
Ooh.
First of all, this smells the most like a traditional, if you have the memories of going to the beach as a kid and smelling that coconutty smell, like, I always think like playing beach volleyball when I was a teenager.
Coconut. If you have coconut fever, this is...
You could tell these people come from a country where the beach looms large in their life, you know? I don't know if they actually live right on the ocean, I don't remember, but this is they call this a very water resistant, high protection sunscreen. It's 30 plus.
It does have a little, like a little, I don't want to say like...
it's not sticky, it's actual oil. It's oil. You get that little bit of that glisten, which could be very attractive on a beach, I would say.
True that.
On the right person, perhaps. I don't know.
But it has a little coconut smell, and it's awesome, actually.
Wow.
This is going to be mine this year. I love this. I've never tried this one.
This is...
That's a great smell.
I haven't tried it, I gotta say. I mean, I remember when we bought it, I put a little bit on, but It was a while ago.
That's great. I really like this. This is gonna be my new.
This is like a great beach one. Again, I wouldn't probably wear this under
daily.
Like if you were wearing clothes and going to backyard barbecue. Maybe. But maybe backyard barbecue. Depends on the barbecue.
Anyway, I like this one a lot. This is great. So this is definitely my pick for new ones of that.
Yeah, I would say I would agree. And Badger is just like a great standby in my mind.
Everyone can use.
Like just great company, great products, and Kula face, especially the matte finish.
Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's just my, hey, you're going to go golfing, you're going to go out, you're going to go walking
around. You have to try that matte finish. Like the texture of it, literally, you cannot explain it.
Yeah, I make people, I force them to try it in the store. I'm like, put a little bit on your hand, please rub it in. And they're like, where did it go?
Happening?
It's powder. It's powder. It's amazing. So, anyway, stay safe out in the sun this summer, 2012. Let's make it a great year. And, you know, keep your skin healthy, happy, protected, moisturized, and...
You know, and don't be afraid to get a little sun. Gotta get that vitamin D. But vitamin D. Be smart about it.
Yeah. Protect yourself, all right? That's better for all of us. Have a good summer.
See ya.